Hey guys, so this is a quick little video for anyone who's experiencing any pain in their wrists when they practice, or if you just want to make sure to prevent any pain there in general. So just a few modifications and some things that you can do to release that pain and hopefully get rid of it entirely. So first of all, if you're in any pose where you're bearing a lot of weight on the wrists and you're having to bend the wrist at sort of a 90-degree angle, instead of doing that, so let's say we're in a tabletop position, right? Instead, I can come onto my fists so that my wrists are straight. And from here, I can take that same cat-cow motion, just with the wrists in a different position. This is also true for plank pose. So rather than coming into your plank by having your hands flat on the mat, you can come onto your fists here as well. Just pay attention to having your shoulders stacked above your wrists, which is the same thing when we're in this plank as well. Okay, you can also, instead of taking a plank pose, come down into your forearm plank. So coming onto your forearms, either having your forearms extended in front of you or bringing the hands together here. And this is going to be a little bit more intense for your core, so you can always lower your knees down, but it's certainly going to be a lot less intense for your wrists. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you is just something that you can do with your fingers to engage your hands more and bring the weight away from your wrists. So here, whenever you're in a position where you're bearing weight on the wrists, to avoid bringing all of that weight into your wrists, you can begin to sort of bend your fingers, so like rooting down through the fingertips and lifting your knuckles off the ground, but really pressing down through your fingertips. So you'll notice I'm kind of like trying to pull the mat towards me. And this is going to press down through your knuckle mounds. So you're going to start to bring the weight here instead of only in your wrist, previously where you might have had those knuckles kind of lifted off of the mat. Okay, so once more here, just going to show that. And this can be for any weight-bearing pose, such as plank pose, such as your tabletop position. Yeah, it could be side plank if you're just on one hand. Okay, anytime you have your hands like that. So a nice way to release the fascia that's going to have a big effect on your wrists is to come into that tabletop position, except we're going to come onto our forearms. So stack your hips above your knees. And then take your left arm so that it's parallel to the top of your mat. And you're going to place the back of your hand down on the mat. And just walk in as close as you can towards your knees. And then I prefer to use my left knee here, but you might find it more comfortable to use your right. But I'm just going to take that knee and put a little pressure on my forearm, just kind of digging that knee in. And I can move up and down the wrist in different places. So just giving it a little bit of pressure. And you can stay here for a few minutes, kind of massaging out the whole forearm in different places. And then coming back, you'll just notice how much of your wrist has released. You'll feel a big difference. You can try it on both sides. I'm not going to demonstrate both right now. But I'm going to show you one more thing that you can do to release the fascia. So if you have a pair of these fascia release balls, if you don't have these, you can also use tennis balls or anything that's really kind of like a hard ball. It's about the size of what can fit into my palms. So you're going to bring the two balls together, and you're just going to place your forearm in between the balls and just start to roll back and forth. And again, you can do this for a few minutes. And if you have it like this, you might notice that the balls are going to separate. So a nice little option here is to take a sock and to put the balls inside of the sock. I know it looks kind of funny. You can tie it up. And then they'll stay together. And when you come back down, it should be a nice way to massage out your forearm, which will have a big effect on your wrists.